And once again, I appreciate each one of your journey to come and study Ayurveda, because it's a very, very important aspect of your desire, your interest, your commitment to learning what is so distant, what is so foreign, apparently as it might feel. But as we start decoding some of these weird terms that we use at times, but you will feel very much connected with the information that we'll be sharing through all the different classes that you will learn throughout the year. So once again, I respect your journey, because it takes a lot to come here and do something and learn something and apply yourself to understand some of these concepts which are being widely accepted by modern science. And what we are going to talk about today is a very interesting phenomenon or concept, understanding everything about the functioning of mind, mental faculties, senses, sensory organ, feelings, emotions, desires, challenges, what affect with your mind, and where do you catalog your experiences, what you have through the senses, and what do we do with it, and how do we create our body out of it. That's what we're going to learn actually, because everything that you experience through the senses, what you touch, what you feel, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, is all going in, and it's creating your body out of it. So every cell tissue, we think that we are nourishing it only from food, but that's very limited understanding. Very little bit of our body is created from the food. It is mostly created from breath, air, it's mostly created from water, and a greater part of it is created from every thought processes and experience that you have, and how you digest it, how you metabolize it, how you ingest it, and what you create your body out of it. And this is a very unique Ayurvedic phenomenon which has been talked about for ages and ages together. One of the common prayer that we use in Vedic medicine is called as Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashemaksh Bhirya Jatra Sthirai Rangai Sushtu Vausas Tanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayu. Let my ears hear all the good things in the world. Let my eyes see goodness in everything. Let my senses ingest nobility and nobleness from every possible direction. Let my body be converted from experiences which are only positive, and never shall I entertain any negativity in my life. And this is a very basic fundamental prayer. And we think this has nothing to do with medicine as it is being practiced nowadays. And it has come to a realization that everything that you think, you experience, you see, even what you experience in your dreams, will have a physiological effect. The psychophysiological connection is very well documented by modern science nowadays. And so we talk about it only from a point of view of stress. Is that right? We think how bad stress is, and everybody is complaining about how stress creates these kind of diseases. It creates high blood pressure, it creates cholesterol, it creates multiple diseases, autoimmune, underactive immune system. All those will happen the way your mind thinks and process thoughts, ideas, and notions and feelings. But we really don't have a clue that if at all this is something which is a bad thing which the stress creates, how can we convert it into allowing our mindset to be so positive that the whole body is not stressed out but blissed out? How can you use your body to feel radiant, happy, vital, and vibrant with everything what you're taking in? And is there a switch somewhere which needs to be adjusted within your own mindset? We use the term attitude. Is that right? Who teaches how to develop the right kind of attitude? And how do we develop an attitude of gratitude about counting the blessings in your life, or looking at the brighter side of everything, or understanding that whatever is going on in life, we do it with a degree of patience and flexibility, so that whatever the terminal effect of that experience is going to be, on our body, on our mindset, on our system is going to be nothing but positive. Is that possible that you can see something really horrible, terrible, nasty, come on in, something nasty, and you don't really feel that bad about it, but you look at certain things which are going to be healthy, optimistic, and positive outcome out of it. Or there are people who see so many nice things, but they only look at challenges and problems and weakness out of that situation, and will create their body out of that little imperfection and weakness in their life, and will fill their life with nothing but misery. You know those kind of people? I know quite a bit. I see them every day in my life, and as I see them in clients, half of my job is to actually tell them and teach them that how you should be looking at the roller coaster of life so that it doesn't really damage the core fabric of your body as such. We call them as molecules of emotions. Have you read Candace Pert's book yet? You should look it up and source that book. It's called as Molecules of Emotions by Dr. Candace Pert, P-E-R-T. A great, wonderful book, a good old friend of ours. And what it is talking about, if you generate a happy thought, generates a happy molecule. If you generate a kinky thought, generates a kinky molecule. If you generate a stressed out, anxious, fearful, insecure thought, it will create that kind of an insecurity at an organic physiological level. And it's a well-documented fact, is that right? But the key is, how can you look at something which is fearful and insecure and don't absorb that and create a different kind of filter in between, so that you're looking not at that insecurity, but you're looking at something which is going to fill your life with a little bit of more stability and security and comfort from that. And how do you feel? How do you align yourselves to not to be insecure and not to be fearful from that given situation, which does look very shaky? And for ages and ages together, not only Ayurveda and Vedic tradition, but every wise culture in the world has always talked about that get out of the pettiness of your human life and the little decisions that your brain makes. Align yourselves to something which is bigger than the biggest and smaller than the smallest. Align yourself with the heightened state of awareness with elevated states of consciousness. And when you are merging your individual self with the cosmic self, the greater realization of the life doesn't allow you to dabble into that little pettiness, what is going on up there, but gives you a lot of strength, moral strength, physical strength, emotional, mental strength to deal with that challenge in life with a lot of hope and optimism and positivity. As simple as that. That is the punchline of this class. So, how well and how quickly you can penetrate that veil of Maya, which is creating that separation of yours from the bigger self of yours. If you look at yourself, you're what, 15, 20, 30 years of age. I'm just kidding. Okay. But at this age, nothing bad has happened. Okay. So far the life has kind of happened, drifted in its own way. And if you really look carefully, nothing bad is going to happen thereafter. Okay? The things are happening as if it's pre-programmed. It's taking you from point A to point B to point C, and you think you are making these decisions, you think you are walking your life and everything, but something is just holding you back like a conveyor belt and taking you right there to meet the right and wrong kind of people in your life, to have the right and wrong kind of situations in your life, and still support you, help you, guide you on its way. So our job is, instead of just trying our best to make these efforts to make things happen, if we just step back a little bit and observe that how the flow of life is taking us from where to where. And what do we do in order to just be in that flow and observing where it is taking us, instead of just trying to swim across or do anything different, which might just create unnecessary, unwanted ripples in the flow where the life is taking you. So I'm telling you about a very unique concept which we talk often in medicine nowadays. And that concept is that how do we teach people how to lead their life? Is that right? We jokingly say that when the baby is born, they should have a manual attached to their butt. Is that correct? Because every little thing you buy made in China, it has a roll of paper which comes with it, how to use it, how to operate it. But nobody teaches us how to lead our life. And whose job it is going to be? It's going to be your preschool teacher, elementary, middle school, high school teacher, college counselor. Whose job is it to teach how to go about with life? How to deal with the relationship, or how to deal with your kids, or how to make the right kind of choices, or how not to overuse, underuse, misuse, or abuse your senses. Whose job is to teach and educate? And how do we learn? How do we learn to take control of our mind and emotions? Who teaches us? And that's the most important question that we face nowadays in medicine. Because by the time we see people at 20, 30, 40, 50 years of age, they're so messed up in their mindset that it is very, very difficult to change those things what they are leading their life almost unconsciously, because they don't know how to do it. Many times people are there, they don't know how to get out of addiction. They don't know how to control their mind. They don't know how to stop eating. They don't know what they really want in their life. They don't know how to align the energy behind their intentions in a positive way. And whether this is to do with someone wearing a white coat and sitting in a medical consulting room should be telling you this? Many times, yes. Because this whole connection of your psyche, of your thought generating machine, where is that machine? That's the mindset, what you call, isn't it? Is your mind which generates thought constantly. How many thoughts do we generate every day? There's about 60 to 70,000 thoughts that you generate every day. And the scary part is about 95% are the same thoughts what you had yesterday. So it just keeps you busy. From the very first breath you take, when you cried the first time in your life as you were born, and until your last breath you will take, one thing which is never going to stop is going to be constant generation of your thoughts. It's never going to stop. And if it's never going to stop, is there something that will have a regulatory thing on this faucet of fountain of thoughts which are coming? Sometimes they are coming a lot, sometimes they are coming a little bit less. And is there any technique that we have understood how to slow down your thinking process? Because your thoughts are very, very important concept. And why would we say the thoughts are very important? We always say that as the famous saying goes, that watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, that becomes your character. And watch your character, because it ultimately becomes your destiny. So watching your thoughts becoming words, watching your words becoming action, watching your actions becoming your character, watching your character becoming your destiny. Ultimately what is happening is you are exposed to your own thinking, which is going to bring the right and wrong kind of things back in your life. As simple as that. That's the simple law of attraction. That what you intend, that's what you attract. And how do we intend positivity? How do we cultivate a sense of hope and something which is bright and wonderful so that our life gets filled with that? We are going to talk about mind. We are going to talk about emotions. We are going to talk about feelings. And how our senses needs to be trained to look at everything what is going on in our life.